Hey folks, Ryan Walker, Ozarks Smallmouth Alliance, coming to you from OSA Central. And I'm here to kick off kind of what we hope to be a reoccurring event every month, and it's kind of a OSA Smallmouth Streamer 101, if you will. Every month we're going to try to bring you a different streamer pattern, and we're going to kind of start off easy this month with the Clouser Minnow. Clouser is, you know, one fly that I would not be anywhere without, and actually this is my favorite colors, pink and purple. So pretty simple tie, not a ton of complex procedures to tie the fly, and not a ton of materials to do it with either. There's basically 4 different materials. We'll walk you through those real quick. So for this particular fly, I'm going to tie it a little bit bigger just so you can see it. I don't have all the rest of my gear set up. I'm just filming off of my GoPro, and so we'll try to make it as easy as we can. So a lot of people will use a stainless mustad hook for it. I prefer the Gamakatsu B10S, just personal preference again. I don't think there's any wrong hook to tie this along, as long as it's a wide gap streamer or stinger hook. Couple of different colors of bucktail and whatever forage you're trying to match. I have pink and purple, which are my 2 favorite colors. A 5mm lead eye, and again, match your fly or unmatch it, whichever you want to do. So these are painted lead eyes with eyes painted on them, and then some type of flash, and this is UV herring crystal flash. I use this on almost all my Clousers. I love this color. It's one of my favorites. And then for the thread, we're going to use Uni Big Fly. It's a 400 denier thread, and you can really torque down on the hook. So that's what we got. That's our materials list. It'll be posted at the beginning of all these videos, and then again at the end. And now let's get into doing this. A trick that I learned a long time ago from a very smart fly tyer on thread placement and eye crowding, especially on big streamers where you've got a lot of materials up in the front. Start your thread where you want the head of your fly to begin, or the nose, or whatever you want to call it. If you do that, you're probably not going to crowd the eye. So I'm going to start my thread here and just go back 5 or 6 wraps. Move my tools. And I'm going to go back up to right there. We're going to throw the eyes on now. So we got the dumbbell eyes. And I'm just going to put them right where I began my thread. And figure 8 them. One thing that I do is I'll twist around the figure 8 to straighten the eye up, and bind that figure 8 kind of together, and I'll do a couple more figure 8s, and then one more bind around, pull it tight, and then we're going to need the fly again back up at the in front of the eye for this. So one of the things you can do to make your streamers a lot more durable is use a little bit of head cement on the wraps. We'll give that a few minutes to dry, and then we'll start constructing the rest of the fly. Alright, so we're back. So for this fly, it's going to ride upside down. I want the pink as the belly, so it's actually going to go on the top, sort of. This is actually the bottom of the fly in the water, but I've trimmed this to where I have about the body length that I want. And as you can see, once I bind that down, it's not going to crowd the eye. So I always pinch the fly, pinch the hair behind, do a loose wrap around, and get a hold of it there. Do a couple of wraps back, and then you can twist all of that back up on top. A couple more wraps there just to secure it all. Now we're going to go behind, bind down a couple of times. So I do X wraps on mine. I don't know why, I just do. So I'm going to back to about the hook point. Then I'm going to go forward and just X over those other wraps. And that's our belly. I tie a fairly sparse clouser. I always have. If I'm using craft fur, there's going to be a lot more material on here than this. All right, so now we're ready for the flash. And I'm going to go back and front like that. Make a couple of cinch wraps right there. And I cut the corner off my crystal flash. And I got 3 or 4 strands off one side here. That may not seem like much, but I'm going to double it up. So I'm going to double it up on the thread like this. Come up under, make a wrap around. Now I want to even that out on both sides. So I'm just going to take it back like that. Now's the time to get that all straightened out. You can come back and trim up that crystal flash after you're done. Alright, so I've got that bound down. Now we're going to go back out in front, and here's where a rotary vise really comes in handy. Is I'll turn that over. Now we're going to get some purple. And I will make the purple a little more dense. I'll put a little bit more material on there. Get all the short, grab it about halfway and get all the short hairs out of it. Get it trimmed to length. Still need to go a little more. Right there. Come up and over. Those first loose wraps are pretty key in getting everything down. Now we're gonna start building up the nose. Once you get that cinch down, I always take my, you can either use a bodkin, I use my whip finish tool, and then get the hair separated out so it kind of flows down both sides. Finish covering. Bring it back. We're only going to need a few whip finish wraps. Get rid of it. Once again, zap a gap. Hair all out of place there. Coat the nose. Just again, added durability. Now I'll go in here and clean up this crystal flash. Just sort of cut it at an angle like that. Now I got it on both sides, which is exactly what I wanted. And there you go. The Clouser Minnow, staple for any smallmouth fisherman's. These flies will catch any fish that swims. I catch a ton of white bass on these things. Largemouth, smallmouth, walleye. I've caught the gazebos out of walleye on the lower James River on this color. Really simple, really quick. You can knock them out a dozen an hour or more once you get going. And that's it. So till next time, thank you all very much, and free the fighter. So there's the finished product. You can see, I mean, this thing's just so effective in the water. That's how it's actually going to ride. And just enough flash to where it's, you know, not obtrusive, but effective. So just it's one of my favorite patterns. I have a box completely full of nothing but Clouser minnows. So enjoy, guys. Get out, tie them, fish them, have fun. Free the fighter.